It's strange how certain people can spend years getting used to your presence, yet only recognize your value when you're no longer there. While you were answering messages, showing up, remembering details, and making life a little easier, none of those things seemed extraordinary. They became normal, familiar, expected. And familiarity has a strange effect on the human mind. What once felt meaningful slowly becomes invisible. Not because people are evil, but because comfort often disguises itself as something ordinary. That's why losing someone sometimes creates a kind of clarity that appreciation failed to produce. And the painful part is that many relationships don't collapse because love disappeared. They collapse because gratitude quietly disappeared long before anyone noticed. Daily life has a way of turning privileges into expectations. A person who listens becomes the one who always listens. Someone who forgives becomes the one who always understands. Little by little, appreciation gets replaced by assumption. Nobody wakes up intending to take another person for granted. It usually happens gradually, hidden inside routines and habits. If you've ever felt invisible despite giving your best, you're not alone. And if these kinds of reflections resonate with you, consider subscribing and leaving a like. It helps this community grow around conversations that many people feel but rarely talk about. Because the truth is, emotional neglect often arrives quietly, wearing the disguise of normality. Human beings are surprisingly poor at measuring value while something is still available. We notice silence after the music stops. We appreciate health after illness. We recognize peace after chaos. Relationships work in a similar way. As long as someone remains present, the mind assumes tomorrow will look exactly like today. There will be another call, another dinner, another chance to apologize, another opportunity to say thank you. This illusion of permanence creates a dangerous comfort. People postpone appreciation because they unconsciously believe time is unlimited. Yet life rarely guarantees unlimited chances. Sometimes absence becomes the teacher that presence never managed to be. That's why regret often sounds so repetitive. People say, "I didn't realize how much they did for me," or "I thought they would always be there." Notice what those sentences reveal. The problem wasn't necessarily hatred or betrayal. Often, it was unconscious certainty. A certainty that tomorrow would arrive exactly as expected. But relationships don't break only through dramatic events. Small moments matter. Feeling ignored matters. Feeling unappreciated matters. Feeling emotionally alone while standing beside someone matters. A person can remain physically present for years while emotionally preparing themselves to leave. By the time the departure becomes visible, the loneliness may have existed for much longer. Ironically, absence reveals patterns that presence hides. Suddenly, nobody remembers the arguments as clearly. What stands out are the routines. The text messages that used to arrive. The person who remembered birthdays. The voice that made stressful days feel lighter. The quiet acts that seemed ordinary begin to appear precious. And this isn't limited to romantic relationships. Friendships, family bonds, and even professional connections follow the same principle. Stability often goes unnoticed because it doesn't demand attention. Chaos gets headlines. Consistency rarely does. Yet emotional security is one of the most valuable things human beings can experience. Unfortunately, people frequently understand that only after its disappearance leaves an empty space behind. Something else happens after loss. Memory becomes selective. The mind begins comparing current reality with what once felt normal. That's when many people confuse missing a person with missing comfort itself. They reach out, apologize, or express appreciation they never verbalized before. Sometimes those feelings are genuine. Sometimes they are simply reactions to discomfort. Losing emotional support creates anxiety, and anxiety naturally seeks relief. This is why reconciliation requires wisdom. Being missed doesn't automatically mean being valued in a healthy way. Missing access to someone's kindness isn't the same as respecting the person who provided it. Those are two completely different things. Many individuals spend years hoping that one day others will finally recognize their worth. They imagine a future apology, a dramatic realization, some kind of emotional justice. But waiting for delayed appreciation can quietly become another form of suffering, because your value was never dependent on somebody else's awareness. Recognition feels good, but it doesn't create your worth. A flower doesn't become beautiful only after someone notices it, and human beings aren't exceptions to that principle. The danger appears when people start measuring themselves through the eyes of those who failed to appreciate them. That kind of measurement will always produce distorted results. Interestingly, people who constantly give without boundaries often become victims of their own reliability. Others adapt to their generosity so completely that extraordinary effort begins to feel ordinary. This doesn't mean kindness is a mistake. It means kindness without limits can accidentally teach people to expect what should have been appreciated. Healthy relationships require reciprocity, not perfect balance every day, but mutual awareness, gratitude, respect, small acknowledgments. Because appreciation isn't built through grand speeches. It's built through ordinary moments where two people continue choosing not to treat each other like permanent guarantees. Healthy relationships require reciprocity, not perfect balance every day, but mutual awareness, gratitude, respect, small acknowledgments. Because appreciation isn't built through grand speeches. It's built through ordinary moments where two people continue choosing not to treat each other like permanent guarantees. Perhaps one of the saddest realizations in life is understanding that certain people will genuinely recognize your value only after losing you. And sometimes that realization comes too late. Not because forgiveness is impossible, but because time moves forward. People change. Wounds heal. New chapters begin. Life doesn't pause while regret catches up. Yet there is something strangely peaceful in accepting this reality. You don't have to become bitter. You don't have to seek revenge. And you don't have to spend your life proving what should have been obvious. The right people won't need your absence to understand your presence. They'll notice while you're still there. Maybe that's the quiet lesson hidden inside all of this. Appreciation becomes most beautiful when it arrives before loss instead of after it. And perhaps the people who truly deserve a place in our lives are the ones who recognize ordinary acts of love while they are still happening. That's something worth remembering. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. And if this reflection spoke to you, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Feel free to leave a comment. Share this video with someone who might need it, and give it a like if you enjoyed the conversation. Until next time.